Alright, am I the asshole for explaining to my future sister-in-law why her kids will never receive anything from us?
So at first, that sounds really, really bad. I think that when you join and merge a family, all the kids become one in a certain way. So when you say we'll never receive anything from us, like, if I was the mom on that, receiving end of that, I don't need shit from you either. But the fact that you even have that energy with my children is a problem. Why are you blocking me?
That's it funny how you kind of did your little bounce. Alright. I, 27, female, have a brother, 33-year-old male, who has been dating his girlfriend Sarah for 2 years, and he proposed a couple months ago. Sarah has 2 kids from her previous relationship. Wow.
What?
8 male and 6 female. I would say that my parents and I are not very close to Sarah and her kids.
Wait, stop.
Right.
Why was it a well? No, I'm confused. Why was it a well that she got 2 kids?
Okay, the title. Now it makes sense.
Oh, I thought you were like, she got 2 kids. Whoa. And I'm like, don't act like we can't move on. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Nah, yeah, you can move on. Sounds like to me, just off the rip from the title, is that Sarah's...
Okay, so did you read the last part? I would say that my parents are not very close to Sarah. Me and my parents are not very close to Sarah and her kids, but we are cordial and never had any problem before.
Okay, cool, but listen, I know you, and I know if for some reason that was the case with you, you'd make that little face, and you do your little dance, and you do this. Because not having a relationship with you or your kids is not an option, even for the family. I know you well enough to know that. So I'm gonna keep reading. My partner, okay, they write proper English. Sorry. My partner, bro, and Sarah attended Easter dinner at my parents', and that's when the drama happened. Sarah's kids were at their father's, so Sarah used this celebration to confront us about my brother requesting a prenup.
Why is she going off on them about it, though?
Yeah, like, why would you come to me and tell me my brother is getting a prenup? I'd be like, good job, bro. But that's neither here nor there. Right in front of you, like, yeah, good job, you smart, man. Travis Hunter need a brother like that. Sorry. Use this celebration to confront us about. My brother basically explained to her that he expects them to sign a prenup and that only his biological kids have the right to inherit anything from our family assets. That's not unfair.
That's the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah, that's not unfair. I don't think. This is something that we as a family have discussed before. We all agree that only our children should receive assets or money from our inheritance. Our brother is free to pay whatever he wants for his stepchildren out of his own money. But my children and his bio children will never have to share anything that our family has with them.
Okay, I don't see nothing. See, I'm a preparer, right? So my thing is, if I don't have to worry about the 2 children that we have together, because I know that your inheritance will have them set, then perfect. I'm gonna use all my money, you know. And like, let's say they had a portion of your inheritance from your family coming to them, then me and you can put our money together and put a portion together for the children that are not of your families. Because, I mean, you love me, so I can't imagine having kids and you not taking care of them like they're yours, but it's not your family's job to give them some inheritance. It's your job to be there for my children.
Yeah, now I think that's easy to say too because our kids are biologically ours, but
So if I had kids before you and I had a trifling ass baby daddy, you're telling me you wouldn't look after my children? You wouldn't even be here. You wouldn't even be here if I had kids and you weren't trying to look after them. You take care of them before you take care of me, baby.
Okay, but if was a fifth, we'd all be drunk as hell. So who knows? Who knows? All I know is that our 2 children are biologically ours, and they gonna get what they gonna get what they get. So there was a lot more back and forth between us, and Sarah was not letting this go. My brother asked her to stop because we were there to celebrate Easter, not to have this kind of discussion. But she kept on going and saying we need to clarify it once and for one. Oh, wait, sorry. Sarah claimed that we were being unfair and that we were treating her and her kids like some strangers instead of embracing them like family. Sarah sounded like she out to get some at this point.
She did.
Yeah, she said that the normal and decent thing was for us to see her kids like my brother's kids, who should have equal rights to any children they may have together. I told her for sure after she gets married to my brother, she will become our in-law and her kids will be my brother's stepchildren, but this does not mean we have to share anything with them. I asked her, will my future kids receive anything from her parents, from their biological father's parents? She said no, obviously. So I asked her, then why would her kids be entitled to receive anything from us? Sarah said because they will be our family. So I told her that we have plenty of cousins that are also family, but I don't go around wishing to share my inheritance with them. Sarah tweaking.
So this to me is always like a really weird conversation. I don't think I've ever talked to anybody seriously about any inheritance or any money or whenever you die, can I have this? I've always been really weird. And I think that what helps me is being around people that actually have money, because I've seen how certain people take care of their children, like while they're living, they're giving them money. And it's not like, oh, when I die and I don't need it anymore or whatever I have left, then, you can have it. If you think about it, nobody wants to die until they're like, 90 and 100 years old, and then your kids are already 60 to 70 years old too, so why would you be leaving them money? If anything, it's the grandkids now, because your kids need more money between the graduation age to their building home age to their starting a family age. They don't need it after that. So that's just a weird conversation to have. So honestly, Sarah really does sound like a gold digger, because you're already trying to sit there and no.
You're trying to get the inheritance.
And stepkids, and then even the family to even sit up here and talk about it, like, yeah, your kids ain't getting that. Like, who has this type of conversation like that? It's weird. It's weird on both ends, to be honest. And I think that you should feel uncomfortable speaking on my children and telling me what my children aren't going to get. That's a conversation you have with your brother, and your brother has with me in private. You don't sit up here and tell me, oh, your kids aren't entitled. Your kids, my kids aren't a part of the bag. You know what I'm saying? My kids are always going to be my kids.
I'm just counting down the face.
I'm just like, blown away. You know how I feel about my kids. So.
Yeah. But what I was saying is that no, Sarah's tweaking, bro.
Yeah, she's
Sarah's tweaking, and I would for sure sit down and tell my sister or brother's spouse that they're not. Why don't for this reason? If this what you marry her or him for, don't. They're not sharing you. Yeah. No, it's not sharing you. It's not.
No, the way you said it. No, I understand that money does not belong to those other children at all. I completely understand that. No, I just laughed at what you said.
Right. Okay. There was a lot more back and forth between us. Sarah was not letting this go. My brother asked her to stop because we were going there to celebrate Easter. Not to have this kind of conversation, but she kept on going, saying we need to clarify it once and for all. I told her from where we stand, everything is clear, and it is only her who has a problem. She said we are greedy and cruel to some kids, and I snapped. I told her to deal with this. She is free to work her ass off and gather assets to leave her children, but we will never divide anything outside our family, and she should just not expect her children to be our problem or a burden to finding.
So you're telling me that her man is telling her that you need to get over it and do not expect your children to be our problem?
Your man's sister is telling you that.
Okay.
And she's telling you.
I thought this was my man telling you this.
What if you don't tell you that? Then what? What you gonna do?
Go to jail.
You going to jail? Why?
I'm gonna have a DV charge on me.
Oh wow. Why?
Strangled.
Why?
What you mean? My man? What you mean? A burden, financial burden or a problem? My children are your financial burden or problem, baby. If you're with me, my children are a part of me. Same thing if it was the other way around. If I put a man, like we going out to eat, we living together, we're doing all this stuff together. Like my children come with you come with me. It's all in one. I would never tell you that your children are not my burden. First of all, they're not a burden. They're your children. They're a piece of you, a part of you, and you always love the person that you love and whatever comes out of them, no matter who it's from.
Okay. All right. No doubt. So honestly feel like she's very manipulative and is using my brother for what she and her kids can get from him. That's my brother's problem to decide if this is the kind of partner he wants. I just want to know if I was too blunt in telling her the truth. I think from your angle, this is a two-sided coin because you seem to also have an issue with how they're confronting her as well.
So I think she is the one bringing. I think it's the wrong place and wrong time. I have an issue with the way that we're talking. I have an issue with the. I really have more of an issue with her, to be honest, because you're discussing this at Easter. This is a conversation you have with your fiancé. She's really the one who brought it up to begin with. Now, a couple of times I thought that it was the husband telling her some of this stuff, or the fiancé, so I was like, hold on, what's going on? But if it's the sister, okay, that's fine. And they're not wrong for feeling like your child isn't going to inherit. Like, that's not how it's supposed to go. It's not. Like, your last name is what gets you what you know, and if your daddy ain't shit, then your mom will work harder. To make sure you have everything that you need.
Okay. Let's hear the comments. Not the asshole your family is not required to share your inheritance with her and her children. More to the point, will Sarah's former partner leave anything to any kids that the OP's brother has with Sarah? No.
He probably isn't leaving them anything to begin with. That's why this conversation is so hard. And I can get it. Like, if you are a woman who doesn't have anything for yourself or doesn't have a way to make money like that, and you are marrying a wealthy person and you have 2 kids that are from somebody who's not worth the shit, and then 2 kids that obviously are going to have an inheritance at the end of things, I can get where you'd be like, kind of a little worried. But that's something that you need, you know, and like he said, work, or she said, which I thought it was him, but it's her saying, like, you work harder and make some money so that you can save for your children.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Not the asshole. Is she marrying your brother for money? Yes. She is marrying my brother.
It does sound like that.
Yes, absolutely. She's marrying for money. She is trying to see what she can get.
And she wants to make sure she knows she can get that guarantee before she go with this wedding.
Yeah, so even bring it up to y'all.
On Easter.
I'm trying to find somebody who...
Somebody says your brother is a fool.
This is a good question because I... It's a tough one. It's a tough conversation, and we have tough conversations here. Why do people enter a family and think that everyone has to see their kids as equals? You haven't been in their life that long. People do this with grandparents all the time, expecting them to love their kids the same as they love their own grandchildren. It does not work that way.
I definitely don't have anything to say with this one because I don't have any experience with it. I guess personally I do.
You're a child that got brought in and was treated in his family. But never mind. That's not because this is over years. Like this is.
And you know what? Honestly, when I was little, my mom kept me from being able to like go to my dad's family functions and stuff. So his family was always welcoming to me from what I can remember, but we never got a chance to just really be super close when I was younger. I don't know if you knew this. But she would, like, my dad would be like, hey, I'm going for this and going for that, and I just couldn't go, so I would just be at home sad because my dad left without me.
Damn, that sucks.
And I know.
Her dad's cool as hell, too, his families.
Yeah, they are.
Okay, here we go. Truth told, I see both sides. Your brother should find a woman with no baggage, though. Oh, baggage is crazy. That triggered you.
I was somebody's baggage.
And Sarah needs to find a man in her own tax bracket because people with actual money will not see her kids as a beneficiary of the family inheritance. Life is not part of the family. I get that. It's not, you know, I mean, shit, I'm not people with money and I still kind of think it's weird to just assume that your child is going to get some inheritance and all of that.
I've never heard of that, honestly. Like, the only people that get inheritance are the children and grandchildren that biologically belong. You know what I mean?
Like all the kids, but like the first grandson gets this.
And not even saying that there's, like kudos to the people who have so much money that are like, no, let me live the stepkids. I'm like, I love them all the same. Like, that's great. But even that, like, if y'all want me to be honest with y'all, like, when my mama passed away, she didn't leave me shit. And I'm her real daughter, and I'm her firstborn. I know she's not gonna leave me shit. And I'm okay with that. Like, that's not, I don't think you should tell somebody how to spend their money or who to give it to, or nor do I want like a remembrance gift of you in the form of money that this is weird.
Right. So let us know what y'all think in the comments. This is really a tricky situation, and we want to hear what y'all got to say. So as always, we listen. We do not judge.
I judge a little bit.